What is up, POW fam? Welcome to day 76 of Countdown to FIDE 100. We're now in the final year of the 20th century and the entirety of the millennium, because tomorrow we're gonna cover the new millennium, which is the 2000s. Wow, what a long way you've done here at the Countdown to FIDE 100. Alright, the year 1999 is the International Chess Federation's 75th year. It's the Diamond Jubilee, as I've heard. Let's take a look between a game of Garry Kasparov and Veselin Topalov. Seems interesting, but that's a 44 move game, and we're gonna take a look about this. Let's start with Kasparov with e4, and then Topalov with d6, and d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop e3, bishop g7, queen d2, c6, f3, b5, knight ge2, knight bd7. Okay, it seems interesting. Guanchu versus Li Chao game, it was Guanchu Lu versus Li Chao game, it was queen to a5. I think it's just trying to go here. And it says openings book states as h4. Because h5, yeah, maybe, and then knight g3. But you can also alternatively go knight bd7 or b4, something like that. Alright, back to knight bd7. There's bishop h6. Okay, now I knew about this. But in the Karpov Vucekovic game, it was g3. So we can, black can go castle, black can go knight b6 or bishop b7. So most of them is gonna go castle, then bishop g2, knight b6, and then b3, a6, and then he castles, b4, then knight d1, and finally a5, knight f2, and bishop a6, rook fe1. Okay, back to bishop h6. There's the exchange, and then bishop b7. Ooh. But in a Xiaobing Zhongyi game, yes, it's Tan Zhongyi, the current women's world championship challenger, set to be played in probably 2025. They played b4, so the knight has to move. So you can say you can go knight here, or knight here. It says that it's knight d1, and then queen b6, knight e3, bishop e6, and he goes queenside, and he goes queenside castle. I don't know what just happened to the mic again. Okay, back to bishop b7. There's a3, but in the Blatny Belotti game, g4. But that means it's unsafe for white to castle kingside, and no more in the openings book. Alright, back to a3. There's e5, so Kasparov queenside castles, queen e7, king b1, a6, knight c1, queenside castle again, knight b3, e takes d4, rook takes d4, c5, rook d1, knight b6, g3, king b8, knight a5, bishop a8, bishop h3, d5, queen f4, king a7, rook he1, d4, knight d5, and then they exchange, queen d6. Wow! Sacrificing the rook. Okay, and then Topalov makes a mistake with c takes d4. Okay, I know about this, but that's only the good thing. So what was that? Oh, it's a green. Or you can also go here, or that's the good moves. No, no, it does. No, it isn't. It's all red, so it's a bad one. So. But the openings book states it's rook takes d4, so rook takes d4, and then c takes d4. Bad move. So, if the variation states king b6, you can go b4, queen takes f4, and then takes, rook takes f7, c takes b4, a takes b4. So it's gonna be an equal position. I think he's gonna threaten here. So that one is gonna threaten here, and go for the checkmate. Okay. Back to c takes d4. Then there goes rook e7. White immediately is now winning. So c takes d4 is a blunder, as I've heard. Because it wasn't like a fine position. Now it's just white winning. Okay, moving on with king b6, queen takes d4, king takes a5, b4, queen a4. And then Kasparov goes with queen c3. It marks as a bad move. Can go rook a7, bishop b7, rook takes b7, queen takes d5, rook b6, a5, rook a6, rook a8, queen e3, and then rook takes a6. White will still remain winning. Okay, back to queen c3. There's queen takes d5, rook a7, bishop b7. Oh, sacrificing again. If he tries to take it, that's gonna be a lose-lose. So he has to defend this b3 square. So queen c4, queen takes f6, and then king takes a3. Yeah. He can probably go on here, or queen to a6. So white threatens queen a6, black threatens rook d1. Okay. But if he tries to go rook d1 right now, then king b2, rook a8, queen b6, queen to d4, takes, rook takes f7, a5. It'll go down to an equal position. And then it ends up with queen takes a6, king takes b4, c3, king takes c3, queen a1, king d2, queen b2, king d1, bishop f1, rook d2, rook d7. Okay, if he tries to take it, that's gonna be a check. So rook takes d7. Oh, goodbye queen. And then there's a rook on the h8, and then rook d3, queen a8, c3, queen a4, king e1, f4, f5, king c1, rook d2, queen a7, and Veselin Topalov resigned because he's gonna catch up on this pieces. He's gonna remove this pawn, and eventually he's gonna win. And this queen is too powerful in this game. And if the game would have been continued, you can go king e2, queen takes h7, king d3, queen takes g6, rook c2, king b1, rook b2, king a1, king e4, and it's gonna be over. If you just take it, yeah, it would be fine to probably take it, but I don't know. I don't know what will happen. It's still a lose-lose for black. Alright, we finally finished the entirety of from 1924 to 1999. Tomorrow we're moving on to find out the most notable games of 2000 to 2024. Alright, so yeah, thank you so much for watching POW. Be sure to subscribe and become a patron. Remember, patreon.com/Paul POW. Subscribe also to my vlog channel, POW Vlogs. Follow me on Twitch, Paul Habaradas, X Paul Habaradas, TikTok Paul Habaradas, Instagram Paul Power YT, Threads Paul Power YT, and Facebook Paul Power YT. Join the Discord community as well and get 20% off when you buy any plan on Chess Mood. And yes, we'll see you tomorrow once again for the countdown to FIDE 100 at the 21st century.